Hey there, everybody. As I get comfortable here. Yeah, I gotta admit, this was a lot of fun. Honestly, I had fun doing this. I had fun making, this brought back like a lot of memories of old D&D campaigns. I remember watching Slayers with my friends. It was a lot of nostalgia to this, actually. I quite enjoyed this Slayers make, and these Slayers reviews, and I'm not gonna lie, it's just yeah, it was overall fun. I can't, I had a blast. Very few times do I actually get to like sit and like just watch something a week straight, no issues, no problems, nothing going on in my life, no insanity, and just sit there for a week straight having fun. And and having a series I actually liked was kind of okay. I kind of enjoyed it. Now that being said, this was a Slayer's Revolution in R was not bad. I can't deny it. It's weird. It was kind of funny because some of the things they did in it was completely like wacky tobacco on another, just completely out there. But at the same time, it kept true to the original stuff, and even kept true to some of the older, like all 3 seasons. It did keep true to the original season. And honestly, we I can't say most stuff does that. If we look at the Star Wars prequel, for example, never really kept true to the original source material, which is kind of funny if you think about. Technically, really kind of like, a lot of people had a negative towards it, and you can say a lot of stuff like a show that continues on way after its prime. Like, we'll see how the new Star Wars goes. If the new Star Wars goes, actually, I shouldn't be talking about the new Star Wars. You wouldn't believe how many people are like freaking psyched for that. I don't want to be flamed. Is life getting that bad? Like, seriously, is life getting that bad? That we gotta kind of watch what we talk about on that level. Like, even making a joke could get me in shit. I gotta watch it. But I gotta be honest, I had a lot of fun doing this, and honestly, this is a fun hobby for me. Like, and I'm actually having a lot of fun. It's not as fun as doing D&D. I could go on and on about Dungeons and Dragons for quite a while. I'm actually thinking of doing a video after hearing my try video because I went totally nostalgia Dungeons and Dragons and I spent like a good 4 hours explaining my campaigns. And I'm like, yeah, I might actually do an entire video off that. We'll see what people say. Okay, so Revolution and Slayers R. This one's a little bit different, and actually, it's kind of cool because they did bring back characters in the most strangest way. It really is kind of odd. So, you basically get almost all the original voice cast. There's quite a few people that didn't sign on or might not have been around for. I've heard stories that a couple of voice actors did pass away. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but it is actually almost the original cast. And their voices, like I said, this is actually kind of fun because honestly the voices and the sounds and everything was made better. Like, this is actually really good sounding, like really well sounding. And we get an introduction to a new character. The new character is Poperon, I think, or Potpourri. I hate this character's name with like, so goddess I don't like, but this one I hate, so I'm gonna call him Potpourri. And this is my plus and minus knocks right off the hop. I did not like this character. I really didn't like him. I found him kind of stupid. I found him kind of silly. I just didn't like him. I really didn't like him. I know he was supposed to be the kid character, kind of like have the kid in here, but I didn't like him. It was really screwed up, like, and that's the one thing about this. That's another big knock. There's a lot of stuff that they do in this one where it doesn't make sense that, this stuff is happening. Like, some of it does make sense, and some of it clearly doesn't. Like, why the assassin Xanaphar's out there, Like why he's doing half the stuff he's doing. It's like, oh, I gotta kill Lena Inverse. This really powerful assassin's in the series, and it's actually kind of a cool character. And I gotta kill Lena Inverse. I have to. I hate her. I hate her. Why do you hate her? There's no references to why she's hated. Nothing. It just he has to kill her. Like enough that he's willing to kill his own son. That is how fucked up that is. Like enough that he has to kill his own son. That is screwed up. Another thing about this was they reintroduced Rezo and Shabernigno as villains, which, again, that was annoying a little bit because like come with a new character. It's kind of like Rezo again. This is like the third. Okay, I know the series has been around forever, but this is technically the third time they've had to fight this guy, and it's getting a little bit annoying. It's like, hey, it's Rezo again. Well, okay, I guess you can't call copy Rezo, but it's like you see it so many times, you start getting annoyed by the fact that you have so many Rezos over and over and over again, and even them bringing back the Demon Beast, Legendary Beast, Xanathar was actually kind of funny. In that sense. So it's like, yeah, there's multiple little things going on. It's not a bad, like I said, other than that, this series does keep true to the Slayer's characters. Like, Lena is, the over-top, insane character. This character's that character's this. Honestly, there's some stuff that they changed I kind of liked. And there's some stuff that they changed. There was the general changes. To voice casts and stuff. One thing I thought was funny, Sylphiel didn't cast a Dragon Slave. They brought her back, and they didn't cast it. She never cast a Dragon Slave. It's like they seem to have forgotten the fact that she actually has that Dragon Slave. Like both her and Lena could have like cast a Dragon Slave at the same time and probably done some serious damage when they were in that fight together. But that didn't seem to happen. We had. We had Zelgadis go completely psychotic, which I actually didn't like. Characters get messed up in this season, actually, really bad. Like, actually, I thought Amelia had actually lost her arm in the fight because in one of the fights she actually gets, like, it's pretty bad. You also got villains that actually don't go straight after Lena. They're going after Zelgadis and Amelia in this one, which is kind of weird to have that happen where it's multiple people. Like, they're not really going after her. And honestly, they actually do stuff in this season, which is actually not bad because in some seasons, it ends up just being Lena doing all the work. And in this one, it was kind of a little bit A, a little bit B. And that wasn't bad. And that I like that when it keeps true to that. They kept the whole gallery relationship kind of on the gallery Lena relationships all over the place still. We have no idea where that's going. The Amelia's goddess is definitely, we have no idea. We have absolutely zero idea where that's going. And the characters just seem to on that sense, it's all over the place with that. But again, it does keep true to the original Slayer series. Now the big question is this original, is this actually as good as the original Slayer series? That one's a hard one for me. I'm not 100% sure, I'm kind of thinking to myself, yes, and at the same time I'm kind of thinking to myself, no. It's really weird how each one kind of has an on and off. What can I say? They both have their pluses and minuses. Wow, did they go after Lena? This one's a little bit more perverted, actually, I find, in the other than the other Slayer series. I think they mentioned Lena's bust size almost 1, 2, 3 I can pretty much keep going. It goes quite a lot. The funny thing is they do bring back the comic relief in one of the most hysterical ways. One of my favorite female I can't speak now. Sorry about that. Female foils. I was for a couple seconds just gonna switch to something else. Martina is in it, but she's basically stuck in a living suit of armor. The entire time she's stuck in a living suit of armor. And her basically what happened was her soul got stuck in it got sent into a suit of armor, which is really screwed up and weird. She ends up in a suit of armor, and there's some funny things with that, with her in the suit of armor running around, which is kind of funny because no one seems to be able to figure it out. And you hear her say the name Nella, and I'm like, Nella? And like, Zelos runs into him, and he's like, yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely, oh, that's about right. So I don't know if he saved her body or not. I think he actually saved Martina's body. I'm not 100% sure, because you kind of hear she's kind of like in a weird box, and she starts giggling or something like that, and that's how that little part ends with her, which is kind of funny. Which is really amusing because Martina actually knows magic now. She's actually originally she just kept on screaming, "I'm praying to the gods, the monster Zalmagoosfar, I think it is, Zalmagoostar or whatever." She kept on doing that. It was kind of funny because monsters were like some creatures were actually using that as like a protective seal and stuff to help her out. Like the Sea Dragon King actually used that. So it was kind of funny. So they ended up saving her, which is kind of good. Uh, the one character Potpourri there, his backstory and his thing, he's trying to bring back his kingdom, which again they bring up Seirun for the freaking no, not Seirun. Yeah, Seirun's in it, but what was the name of the other one? Cyrad. They bring up Cyrad for another time, which again I'm starting to get annoyed by that. Okay, if I had watched this series cold, I probably wouldn't be annoyed. If I had watched this series like it was, like 20 years later, instead of watching it like right in one after another, I probably wouldn't be annoyed. God, Cyrad must have been like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me very similar of the Oblivion, that whole tower in Oblivion and thing, where it's like everything bad happened in this one little god dang location. This stupid dang it location, over and over and over again. And it's like, figure people would just kind of say at one point, screw this crap. This the whole Elder Scroll stuff, because isn't it like the same location over and over and over again? Stuff happens. It's like, oh yeah, this happened for the umpteenth time. Because like, yeah, I vaguely remember hearing that apparently like that one tower has been constantly attacked over and over and over again. And there's a couple things like that where in certain things it's like, wow, this has been like Hyrule, for example. Wow, the things that happened to Hyrule, Legend of Zelda. Wow, this place has been okay. It's been destroyed at least 3 or 4 times. If you really look at it, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times I can think of when Hyrule's destroyed, and one of those was being sunk into the sea, and then resank into the sea. So technically, yeah. So there's that. You got the fact that the world was split into two entities and then linked to and two realities. So you got that. So yeah, it's pretty much like it's getting annoying on that side. It's getting really, really annoying for me to constantly hear about the same kingdom over and over, over and over and over again. Like literally, it was just Zyrad was destroyed once by the beast Zamafar, which you find out they created, which is kind of interesting. Destroyed a second time. Destroyed a second time, and this is like the original group of people who are living in Cyrad moved to this other kingdom, which is Prince Potpourri's a thing kingdom now, and then for a second time it was destroyed. For a third time, it technically got destroyed again. So it's been destroyed so many effing bloody times. It's just kind of it's just stupid. It just kind of gets to the point where you're like, geez, really again? Oh man. So you mentioned Cyrad for the next time. Rezo's brought back, which I didn't like. That actually kind of that bothered me a little bit. And he gets brought back just to die again. It's like, well, why would you want to be brought back again? That doesn't make sense, Rezo. It's like, I don't know. That was kind of stupid. Uh, there's a lot of this really kind of stupid moments. in this one. Honestly, I think because again, I saw the original series. It kind of, to me, feels like if I had never seen Slayers before, and I had just watched these seasons. I guess it's technically two, but they are kind of short. Uh, if I had watched these, I probably wouldn't feel the same way. I'd probably have a little bit of a different way of looking at it. But yeah, some of the changes were, I did like the fact that Gallery's still running around without a sword of light. He gets a replica sword of light, which is still pretty kick-ass, but he's running around without the sword of light, and he keeps on breaking his sword. That's kind of funny. That is kind of amusing. Uh, Another thing that kind of gets me laughing is that because he's so used to using such a really powerful sword, he just swings away, and the power he gets is just really, he's just overkill. Um, the Giga Slave really hurts Lena. Like, holy crap, does this thing mess her up? Like, before it had never really done that to her, but this time it really messed her up. And they had changed the Giga Slave into, like, before it was just more of a like an energy attack, but this one actually it creates a black hole, which is kind of cool. And it is basically, this prince, this Prince Potpourri's basically got his kingdom. He thinks his kingdom was being saved by Rezo, but if you watch the original series, Rezo was a total douchebag, and he was basically he got to a point where he just kind of snapped and ran and ran around basically doing horrible, horrible stuff. But then, like, so basically he sent a plague to a people, and then use an experiment to see if he could get brought back to life, like basically change his body into another form. It was all about screwing with stuff. It's really kind of a dark story. And this stupid kid can't really give up the ghost, so to speak. Even though everyone's telling him, all these friends that he has is like telling him, no, Rezo's a douchebag. Don't believe him. I have to believe him. This is what always got me by. I'm like, ugh. Okay, literally, you know what? I would take these guys' words for it, like the Slayer group word for it, because they've gone out of their way to help you repeatedly. you know, Obviously Rezo had an ulterior motive. Literally, Zelgadis is a walking, talking proof that Rezo has an ulterior motive. This is the reason I didn't like that character. It was just like, it was so ignorant. And this is someone who had been around for at least 2, 3 years now. His kingdom's been screwed over. So, well, no, yeah, wait. Yeah, okay, the series started. Next was about a year. I think Next and Try were a little over a year, both of them. So, if this is like another year going by, it's been a couple years now. You'd come to the conclusion that these guys probably know what they're talking about. So that was my only little, like I said, those are my big problems with it. Otherwise, it was a decent series. My rating is an 8.9. It's not as great as the original. Like, I found the original, like, again, and this is personal preference. You can either give or take on what I'm saying to you. But yeah, I'd have to say, 8.9. So yeah, so there's my review of Slayers. You know, these are all opinions. These aren't like you can either take them or leave them. You're either gonna take what I'm saying and enjoy it, or you're gonna be like, who's this guy? Why should I care what he has to say? But I it's just a matter of personal preference. Whatever you like, whatever you like. That's the best way to look at it. And I hope you like the review. I know this one's a little bit nuts, but it. I gotta be honest. It's just, I don't know. This wasn't as good as the other series, and I'm still off this high. And I gotta be honest. I'm enjoying this. I'm probably gonna keep on doing these videos. I'm having a good time, even if like 3 people view them. And I get maybe 2 or 3 subscriptions altogether, and they're all friends. I don't care. I'm having fun. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing them, and I hope you guys like them, and maybe I hope I'll hear from you. You guys will hear from me again. Have a good one. Bye.